Hello and welcome to our channel. We're going to tell you a story. It was a cold morning in New York City. James Thompson, a successful millionaire businessman, stepped out of the luxury restaurant with his daughter, Lily. He held her small hand as they walked down the shiny, clean sidewalk. Lily, 5 years old, wore a pink coat with a matching bow. She smiled as she munched on her ice cream. James had everything: a big house, luxury cars, and his lovely daughter. But deep inside he always felt something missing. He never spoke about it, not even to his daughter. Suddenly, Lily pulled James's arm. "Daddy, stop," she said, pointing across the street. James turned his head. A small boy, about 6 or 7 years old, stood near a bakery. His face was dirty, his clothes torn. He held a half-eaten sandwich like it was a treasure. His eyes were full of fear and hunger. "Daddy, that's my brother," Lily screamed loudly. People nearby turned to look. James bent down to Lily and whispered, "What are you talking about, sweetheart? You don't have a brother." Lily shook her head. "I know him. I know his face. I saw him in my dreams." James was shocked. "In your dreams?" "Yes, Daddy," she whispered. "He always stands alone in the dark. He cries and says, 'I'm your brother.'" James looked again at the boy. Something about the child's face made his heart beat faster. The boy had the same brown eyes as Lily, the same little nose. And something deep in James's memory started to move. James took Lily's hand and walked over to the boy. "Hey, buddy," James said softly, kneeling down. "Are you okay?" The boy looked scared. He held the sandwich tighter. "I'm fine. I didn't steal it. A kind lady gave it to me." James smiled gently. "Don't worry. I'm not angry. What's your name?" The boy looked at him carefully. "My name is Ben." Lily gasped. "Ben? That's the name from my dream." James felt dizzy. He couldn't understand what was happening. But one thing was clear: this wasn't just a random moment. "Ben, do you have a mommy or daddy?" he asked. Ben shook his head slowly. "No. I live in the back of the alley with other kids. I don't know who my parents are. I just remember a voice. A man who said he'd come back for me." James's chest tightened. That voice, it sounded familiar. Could it be his own? He looked at Ben closely again. The child looked just like him when he was young. The same wild hair. The same serious look. James stood up, holding Lily's hand tighter. "Come with us," he said to Ben. The boy took a step back. "Why?" "Because I think I might know something about you," James replied. Ben hesitated, then followed them. They walked to James's black car. The driver opened the door. Lily and Ben sat side by side. Lily smiled and gave Ben her ice cream. "You're my brother. I just know it." Ben smiled shyly. As the car drove off, James looked out the window, lost in thought. Could this really be possible? Could the past he buried be returning? At home, James gave Ben clean clothes and food. He asked the family doctor to check him, then put the boy in the guest room. But he couldn't sleep that night. He went to the study and opened an old drawer. Inside was a picture, one he hadn't looked at in years. The photo showed him years ago with a woman named Anna. She was the only woman he ever truly loved. They were both young and poor back then. James had dreams of becoming rich. But when he got his first big chance, he had to move far away. Anna was pregnant then. "I'll come back for you," James had promised. But life changed. He got busy, he got successful. And he never returned. Later he searched for her. But she had moved. No trace, no contact. He assumed she had left the city. Maybe even the country. Now he looked at Ben's face again. The same eyes as Anna. Timeline matched. The possibility was too strong to ignore. The next morning, James hired a private investigator to find out everything. In 2 days he had the answer. Anna had died 3 years ago in a small clinic. She had been homeless, with a young son named Ben. James felt like the floor disappeared under his feet. He had a son he never knew, a boy who had lived in pain while he lived in comfort. He called Lily into the room. "Sweetheart, I need to tell you something." Lily looked up at him, her big eyes waiting. "You were right. Ben is your brother. He is my son, and yours too." Lily clapped her hands and ran out to hug Ben. "See, I told you," she said. James watched them hug, tears in his eyes. Later, James sat down with Ben. "I'm your father," he said, voice trembling. Ben's eyes filled with tears. "I always hoped you'd come. I didn't know if it was real, but I waited." James hugged him tight. "I'm so sorry. I should have found you earlier. I failed, but I promise I'll never let you go again." Ben cried into his chest. A few days later, James held a press conference. Reporters were shocked to see the millionaire with a small, shy boy beside him. "This is my son, Ben. I just found him. And from today, he is part of our family." The world watched as James kept his promise, not just in words but in actions. He opened a charity home in Anna's name to help homeless children like Ben. Lily and Ben became best friends. They laughed, played, and grew together. And every time someone asked how they became a family, Lily proudly said, "I dreamed about my brother. Then I found him." I hope you enjoyed this story. Have you ever experienced? Share your stories with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories and adventures. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.